Good morning, everyone. So we're coming to our Vichara yoga this morning, coming to our time of yoga sadhana. So welcome you to come back to your mats, and then I'll explain this morning's time, the session. So let's begin here in seated, and then we're going to make our way down to lying also in a moment. Good morning, all. So this morning, for this time of sadhana for our session together, it follows from what we were discussing earlier in our Ayurvedic inspirations, which is around this evening time, the evening routine, what we call Racharya. And today we're going to do an inspired practice, a class that will really orient us to a wind down. So, how we can wind down and really bring soothing, calming energies that can carry us into sleep. And as I've been sharing, it's something that I see that is increasing difficulties with sleep. So either challenges with getting to sleep or challenges staying asleep or disturbing dreams or waking up multiple times throughout the night. More of us having to use whether it's sleeping medications or CPAPs or various things to help us to sleep. That the naturalness of sleep has no longer continued in its naturalness, that for a lot of us just naturally feeling the comfort and the welcoming of sleep or of rest, it's not as easeful anymore. So this morning's practice will actually be something that you can carry into your evenings. So you might feel after this a little bit cozy and sleepy, but there's no reason why you can't also practice this sometimes during the day or sometimes at the beginning of the day. If you're feeling a little bit less energetic, if it, for example, for women, if it's the time during the moon, during your menstruation, or if just generally we're needing more of a restorative, gentle practice, then this can also be very, very helpful. Or if you want to have a nice mid-morning nap, although we don't necessarily suggest that in Ayurveda. But today's intention will really be to land into a sadhana, into a session that will help you to orient around something you might use later in your evening times. So let's begin, as always, chanting together. And then there's some things I would like to introduce to you even before we start to move into asana, into some of our movements. I would welcome you to maybe go and grab, if you don't already have a pillow, or to grab a bolster, if you have a bolster, or even a second rolled mat. And even as I've brought this morning, to have something like an eye pillow can be really helpful for evening time wind down practice. This was beautifully made by a student and a dear friend. So maybe in some of our extra time right now, we can make an eye pillow, but even a gentle scarf to be placed upon the eyes can be helpful. And a blanket, I would suggest to grab a blanket as well. Let's bring hands to heart, and you can repeat after me this beautiful Shanti Pata, the peace prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Vonaktu Sahaviriyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May this great peace, Shanti, reside in each and every one of our hearts. May there be no discord within or between us, between all beings. May we come to recognize our oneness, and may truly this sadhana, this time of being with ourselves on the altar of our mats, may it bring us deeply into our own hearts, into our own abiding place of peace, so that can shine outwards, and with every step off of our mats and into our lives, we can be a walking beacon. Let's gently come to open the eyes. So in this time of wind down, we're going to start lying down on the mat. But even before we do that, a couple suggestions I would love to offer you that you can really combine into your sadhana. So one thing is, as you can see, I'm wearing my comfy clothes, at this time, no leggings or, t-shirt, because especially or tank top, because especially with more of a evening practice, it will be a bit more cooling. So putting on a sweater, having, a sweatshirt on, something that will bring warmth, having these are, warmer track pants, putting something like that on that will allow you to retain warmth and comfort. So you should already be feeling really comfortable as you make your way off into this nighttime wind down. I don't know about for you, but here today I woke up to some snow, so April snow. Ta-da! So especially if the environment, even indoors, is a little bit chilly or cold, when we're doing a slower, more restorative practice, make sure that you're retaining some warmth. So whatever you need to do that. The other thing that I suggest that helps with this and also helps to lock in some beautiful aromatherapy is to also come with some socks, even at this time of practice. There's no reason why you can't use this. These are thinner socks, but you can have something thicker as well. And I've suggested this one time before, but using essential oils or using oils onto the feet is very grounding, and is also, the pores in the feet are large enough so that we can absorb, of course, the gifts of the negative ions from the earth, but also it will allow us to absorb medicine through the feet, and to absorb herbs, especially in the form of oils and warmth through the feet. So I'm using right now from Rasa Ayurveda, from our Ayurvedic apothecary, what's called our Vata Sacred Essence. And this is a beautiful essence because it has different herbal oils and essential oils in it that are very good for calming and grounding, soothing, pacifying, bringing serenity, and they are very contributing to sleep. So what oftentimes I will do before my wind down practice in the evening is to roll this onto the bottoms of the feet. So to bring this onto the feet, the soles of the feet, and then to rub. So to create a little bit of warmth, and then to place the socks on. Now you can also do this with a little bit of warm sesame oil, in which you put oils like lavender, chamomile. Cedarwood is one of my favorites for those of you in more of these northern hemisphere countries where that's more accessible for you. But just lavender, it tends to be a common one for a lot of us, and it's a great one that you can have in your plant medicine cabinet. So putting that onto the feet and then placing socks or little slippers, that can help to lock that in and already start to allow the medicine of that to be absorbed during the time of the yoga. And you can also do this just before bed as well. The other thing I like to do in my wind down in the evenings is to put a little drop or two of hair oil, but it could also be, because this is a head oil, and I'll explain that to you, but it could also be using the sacred essence again onto the top of the head. Basically what we're doing is we're creating a container. You're going to notice that in our sadhana this morning as well. We're cocooning ourselves as much as possible. So creating that container from the bottoms of the feet and the top of the head. And even if some of you want to wear a hat or a bandana, that can be helpful actually to cocoon that warmth and already to start to pacify the system. You see, when Vata becomes more expansive during the day, we're going out, we're doing things, we're spreading out. We want to bring that all back into a space of being cocooned, grounded, and held, boundaried, we could say. I don't mean boundaried in that we are separate from other things, from other beings, but more that we have a container and we're held in that container. That will contribute to a depth in our sleep. So putting a little bit of oil at the top of the head can also be powerful, and I often do that in my wind down practice in the evenings. So I use our Rasa hair oil, and I just take a couple drops and then place it right at the apex. So right in the very top point of the head. And then, of course, it's nice to go through the rest of the hair. But it's really about getting the herbs and the medicine from this oil, which has things like brahmi in it, which is an excellent, excellent herb for the brain. It's actually shaped like a little cerebellum. It's excellent for calming and pacifying the brain. It also has jatamamsi or spikenard, which again helps with any kind of vata imbalance. So it helps if the mind is feeling scattered or the mind is feeling like it's out in all directions. Spikenard is very, very good for calming the nervous system and the mind, as well as some other herbs in this that will be very grounding. This also has lavender, rosemary, for example. So that's something that I might suggest. Or again, if you've created a little oil for your feet, you might have your wind down sort of oil that you use before bed. You could also do this practice in bed if that helps you with sleep. And I'm highlighting these things because it's one of the major places that I work with individuals is around sleep hygiene, because I see that today so many of our health challenges, our illnesses, our diseases are due to our lack of really deep rest and sleep, rest in our days and sleep in our nights. So those are a couple starting points. So grab your socks if you don't already have them and maybe put them on so you stay nice and warm this morning. And then from here, let's find our way onto our backs. So let's come down into Shavasana. If you need to use a bolster or a pillow under the knees or under the lower back, you can always do so. This can be contributing to feel more relaxed and not to bring tension to the back as you lie here. So putting the bolster either under the knees or under the lower back, something smaller tends to be helpful there. And then allowing yourself to lie down into Shavasana. I often suggest for this wind down practice, really, in finding that comfort, even let the hair be free. So make sure the back of the neck is in no way restricted or confined. And then roll the shoulders open, adjust the body so you can really find your comfort here. And allow deep breaths to be felt and to enter in. And as you inhale, let the inhale reach all the way down towards the tips of the toes. Feel like you're breathing in through the nostrils and it's traveling all the way down to the lungs, the abdomen, the pelvic floor, making its way down through legs, knees, and into the toes. And as you exhale, feel like you exhale from the back body, like the entire back of the body softens more into the earth with the exhale. Inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Enjoy these big, full, total breaths. You should feel that ripple, the movement in through the abdomen, and especially at the end of a day, this wind down practice is also about really letting the breath calm, let the nervous system calm, about already getting the body acquainted to this posture of lying, and also moving out kinks, places where we tend to hold our tension throughout the day. So let the breath deepen and slow and still. If we've been racing or hurried throughout the day, that will express itself through the breath being labored. So welcome those full deep breaths. A couple more times, enjoying these full breaths. And then let's move with slowed, steadied presence. So no jolting movements in this winding down practice. It's really important that we stay slow, quiet, internalized. So from here, if you have a pillow or a bolster under the knees, bring your feet onto the bolster or onto the pillow or onto the floor if you don't have that there. And then let the hands flip over so the palms of the hands are facing down onto the mat. Let's just get some gentle movements into the hips and the body here. So with an inhale, press into the feet and raise the hips up, and with an exhale, drop the hips down. You don't need to go to your full place of expression, so you're not trying to strain here. Just gentle movements that will rock in through the hips here. Inhaling as you rise up, exhaling as you soften down. Continue in this way, and if you need a little help at the lower back, you can even place the hands there and then soften them out as you exhale. Try to keep the jaw, the face, and the shoulders relaxed. The movement coming more from the hips, the pelvic floor, the legs, and 2 more times. And then with the next exhale, just land here, arrive, stay there for a moment or two. And then press into the feet, whether it's a pillow or the bolster, and you can press it right down towards the edge of the mat. And then spread the legs out so you're lying one long line onto the mat. Then from here, take the hands up overhead, just this gentle pranayama, this gentle warming. From here, inhale and enjoy a full-bodied stretch. Point through toes. Exhale, soften the body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften, full-bodied stretches after a day in which there might be compression. Inhale, lengthen, exaggerate the movement. And exhale, soften. And now with the next inhale, lengthen and yawn. Even if you don't feel to yawn, open the mouth wide, fake it until you make it, and relax. Even with a sounding and a releasing. Inhale, expand, yawn. And relax and release. 2 more times. Releasing there, and just relax the arms, the hands up overhead, stay here. Body long but relaxed. And then create little pulses. So inhale through the right side and extend the right fingers and the toes. Then exhale and release. Inhale through left side. So you should feel length through left side body, toes and fingers. Exhale, come towards center. Inhale, lengthen through right side. Exhale, relax. Just gentle movements here. Continue in your own rhythm through left and right, enjoying this little pulse, moving out any tension or holdings from the day. This is the beautiful gift of a wind down sadhana, is to really bring sukham, to bring comfort, ease, to bring a state of santosha, of contentment in our embodiment. So as we go to sleep, we can go to sleep with this contentment in our hearts, in our minds. A couple more times on either side. And then exhale and reside here, and gently, slowly bring the arms back towards the sides of the body. Slow, gentle Gentle movements coming all the way back, and lie there for a moment or two. And then let's window wipe the feet and the legs. So take the toes out towards the edge of the mat and then touch the toes towards each other into the center. Inhale, open. Exhale, point them towards each other. And play a little bit here. You can even cross the feet over. So as they point towards each other, left comes in front, then right. So playing a little bit here also to balance the nervous system at the end of the day, to do things asymmetrically. Oftentimes in our days, we're patterning our duality. What I mean by that is we might move more through our left or through our right side of our body, or more through our left or our right brain. So in our wind down practice, doing things evenly through both sides is really truly hatha yoga. Hatha, the sun and the moon coming back to their yug, to their yoga, being united, coming to our place of centering, center point. A couple more times here, inhaling and exhaling. And then relaxing the legs. Feel all relaxed. And then take the soles of the feet back up onto the mat now, rather than a pillow or a bolster. Get comfy here. Feel into the sacrum and the lumbar area. Just explore a little bit there. You might, if you bring your awareness there, you might notice that you're gripping or you're holding. Just feel in general this band around the hips and the space of the lumbar or the sacrum. Notice what's held there in this moment. The feet and the knees are hip width distance apart, planted down onto the floor. Let the shoulders be relaxed, hands at the sides. From here, we're going to gently rock the pelvis. So as we rock up, almost as though we're pointing the tail into the mat, a space is created under the lower back. And then we rock down, and the back softens onto the mat. We're not lifting the buttocks here. Nothing else moves or lifts. So dropping the lower back, it softens down onto the floor, and then lifting. And feel that rock, and as you do, so you might feel how the head and the spine slide along the mat. And then see how breath wants to be paired with this movement. So it might already be naturally happening that you're inhaling as this lift in through spine happens, and exhaling as it softens down, or vice versa. And follow this pranic response, life responding each moment. Feel the way in which this is massaging the lower back, the sacrum, the lumbar area, which is one of the most supportive areas of the body throughout our day. It's what really helps us to stand upright, to move throughout the day, but especially if we've been more seated, this area can get really stagnant, compressed. So a couple more times here, enjoying the movement. And then relax. Find your place of neutral spine. So that might take a moment or two to feel. And then relax there and continue to feel. Feel how prana is more free, especially along Sushumna Nadi, along the central channel. This channel of energy up along the spine. As we free up the coccyx, the tailbone, the lumbar vertebrae, the sacrum, prana is more free to flow also. And then let's take the knees up towards the chest and let them widen out towards the armpits. So the knees are pointing out towards the armpits. And from here, we're going to rock from side to side. So it's almost like you're drawing the knees towards the armpits or towards the sides of the pecs. And as you do this and you really let the legs open and soften, so this opening in through the pelvic floor, you'll notice how you're starting to really shift the sacrum on the mat. So moving from side to side, this massage. Also relieving tension from the hips. Again, the hips are one of the major joints that support us throughout the day. So in our winding down in the evenings, the hips can hold so many things, both physically, also emotionally. So this movement can help to wring that out. Find a couple more movements here. And then stay in this position, soften here, and then take the feet up so we come into happy baby. Bring the hands to the outsides of the feet and draw the knees down towards the floor. And now it's a rocking motion from side to side. So it's almost like you're trying to touch the knees, and that might happen for you. Dropping them down towards the mat. But even if you're extended a little bit higher, and if it's difficult for you to bring your hands onto the feet, you can always bring them onto the legs or even onto the back of the thighs. Here, rocking from side to side. Even this rocking motion, happy baby, you can imagine how this contributes to our sleep. So when you rock like this is actually a beautiful somatic exercise. And what I mean by that is it helps to release some of the somatized or crystallized held energies of stress and tension. It helps to rock the nervous system into its place of comfort, the parasympathetic nervous system, resting, digesting, softening, calming. So a couple more times, enjoy this rocking movement. And then relax the legs, take the knees towards the center line, and just reside there. You can either bring hands or wrap around. Feel cocooned in yourself. Feel the back of the head, let it relax. And rest here for a few breaths. And then one last warming this morning, or let's say second last. There is one after this. So bringing the feet again down towards the floor, and let's take the arms out towards the sides of the shoulders, so directly out with the palms facing up towards the sky. Feel this openness of the heart. And then bring your knees and feet right together towards each other. From here, we're going to do a little gentle movement of moving in through spine, neck, really wringing the system out. So take an inhale in through center, and with the exhale, start to drop the knees towards the right side body. But don't press or effort here. If they don't come down towards the floor, you can even use a pillow under the knees, and let the head come towards the left side. Inhale, come towards the center. And exhale, drop to the left side now. Head towards the right. Inhale towards center. Gentle, slow movements. Exhale towards the right. Head towards the left. Inhaling. Exhale, knees to left, head to right. And now move in your own rhythm. So find your own softening rhythm and feel the way in which this twist is both helping to wring out the spine. So much of our winding down, of our calming, of our coming back home to that parasympathetic nervous system is also established in how we've treated our spine. If our spine is compressed, labored, so as we start to get oxygen, movement, the nerves receive more flow, the spine in general becomes more fluid. This will also help us being rested both in our days, calm in our days, but also having more restful sleep. Couple more times on either side. Really feel that massage in through the back of the head, massaging the back of the brain, the small brain, calming, bringing serenity, quietness. Let this be the last time. And then with the inhale, let the knees come up towards sky, and then walk the feet out towards the edges of your mat and let the knees fall towards each other. And then just soften your hands, either taking the hands maybe onto the heart space to feel, we've been open wide at the heart here, but then also to calm and soothe, or onto the tummy, and relax here. And then from here, as promised, one last warming or exercise in and of itself that is another great somatic practice for shaking out the day. Again, for the nervous system, releasing anything that's held or stuck. So take feet and hands up towards the sky and begin to shake. But we're going to do this in a gentle way. So don't get too stimulated here or agitated. Shake, let the fingers move in all directions. Relax the jaw and breathe deeply as you do this. Let the shaking resound down from fingers and toes all the way down towards elbows, knees, hips, shoulders, and feel it start to move even into the torso. As we shake the limbs, feel the torso releasing. And release the jaw, release the breath. Continue to shake a few more seconds here. Enjoying this movement. Then take an inhale here, point fingers and toes up towards the ceiling. And with the exhale, very slowly soften back. I'm going to welcome you to come into that position again of the knees towards the chest. Let's really come into this as our first asana, coming into Pranamuktasana. So wrap the arms around. If you can come with the elbows wrapped around, so you can come with the fingertips towards the elbows. This is the full expression. Otherwise, bringing the hands onto the shins or coming to clasp around the wrists, wherever feels comfortable for you, or even using a strap here, but really try to soften the sacrum, that big flat bone at the lower back, onto the floor, not lifting the buttocks here. And then feel into the back of the neck and the head and drop the chin. So draw the chin down towards the chest. You'll feel the length that happens through the back of the spine. We're not lifting our head here today. Feel the insteps of the feet zippered together. And continue to create that length by dipping the chin in towards the chest. This is an excellent way to create a stretch all along the spine. And this is a beautiful posture to create pratyahara, internalization. So at the end of a day where we may have been externalized, moving out through the five senses, this helps us to draw all the five senses inwards, to cocoon, to wrap ourselves up. So stay here in the quiet of this. Notice if the mind is becoming identified with or often thought. In this Vichara yoga, we really stay in the inquiry, which means to stay in the enveloping of each moment, the sensation of being alive now, the breath now, the energy now. The inquiry is about staying available to life now. You can come back to thinking later if you still find it important, but for now, stay seated here. Find one more full breath here. And then with the exhale, release the arms first and let the hands come around the right knee. And then with an inhale, extend that left leg. Drop it down. Feel the right knee dipping in towards the body. And then exhale, soften the hands and draw the left knee now towards the chest and release the right foot. And then let's flow in through this. A couple more movements. Right knee comes towards the body, left drops down. You can find how breath works best for you. Maybe an inhale in the transition and an exhale as the leg finds its way down towards the mat. In this way, we're just really softening out. This is Ardha Muktasana, this half wind liberation pose. We're softening through digestive system and in through ascending and descending colon, the eliminatory system also. So we're really prepping the body for its work during sleep, which is also about digestion. Digesting the day, processing, absorbing. So last couple movements here on either side. Let this be the last time. And then release the final knee right down onto the floor and come in this full extended position. Lie there for a moment or two. Find big belly breaths. Feel almost like there's an inner smile in the abdomen. So smile down into this space. And then ever so gently, take the feet back up so their soles are onto the mat. And let's roll ourselves very slowly onto the right side, but even keeping the eyes closed here. Use the right forearm as a pillow for the head and stay there. Let's actually treat this as an asana in and of itself. So from here, extend the right leg long, but keep the left knee bent and the left knee softened onto the floor, or you can use a pillow here. So if you want to take a pillow or a folded blanket under the knee, you can do so. So right leg is extended, right arm is also extended with the head onto the upper arm. And then if you want to put the pillow there, you can. Let the left hand soften wherever feels comfortable and keep the eyes closed. Relax that right hand. Of course, we can use more bolsters or pillows here, but part of the gift of this winding down practice is really to stay as internalized as possible, to create as little shifting as possible. So find yourself lying here on the right side. Breathe deeply and feel that you breathe through the left nostril. Welcoming through Ida Nadi, through the more cool soft, feminine, receptive channel of energy that connects to the left nostril. Just lying in this adapted fetal position, so calming and relaxing for the system, already preparing us for winding down and for sleep. Find 3 more full breaths here. And then with the next exhale, very gently soften, and you can release the pillow or bolster if you've been using it there out from the knee. Keep it close though for the other side, and you can take that right knee to meet the left and come back to that neutral fetal position. Continue to find deep breaths here, and then very gently, slowly find the left hand to the back body and roll back onto the back, feet flat onto the mat. Soften there. Then we're going to come to find our way to the other side. Keep your eyes closed and bring your hand to connect with the pillow. So try to find the pillow here and bring it to the other side. And then from here, ever so gently, stabilizing through the feet, come towards the left side body. And again, take that left arm up overhead. Roll so that you're bringing yourself, the head onto the left upper arm. And then extend the left leg underneath and wrap the right leg over top. So again, using a pillow or a bolster, you can even use a block here for this right knee to soften. Relax, melt out in any way here, through hips, through body. Really try to find relaxation. For some of us, relaxing is much more difficult than acting. And then soften that right arm anywhere that feels perfect. Relax the left fingertips and reside. And now feel breath entering into the right nostril. This connection and soothing of Pingala Nadi, the channel of energy through right nostril and down through the right side of the spine, which is the more warm, active, the solar, the more masculine aspect. We're bringing a balance to these 2 nadis. Also, in many ways, a balance to both hemispheres of the brain. Find 3 more full breaths here. Feel like with every exhale, you really soften and release. And then allow this to be the last exhale. Really softening everything, removing the pillow and just move it out to the side of the mat slightly. And then from here, slowly with that next inhale, draw the left leg up to meet the right. Let yourself be in that neutral fetal position. Rest there for a moment or 2. And then very slowly, gently, keep the eyes closed and come to extend the legs. So let both legs extend on the mat and then very slowly roll yourself onto your belly. Keep the eyes closed as you feel the body rolling. And then create a pillow for the forehead. So drop the head down onto the mat, or rather onto the backs of the hands. Use the hands as a pillow to really soften the body. Flatten the tops of the feet and relax there for a few full breaths. You might feel as you rest here that even though this has the intention to be a wind down, an end of the day, or an evening sadhana, an evening practice, that many of our systems are welcoming this right now. That many of us need to wind down in general. We're revved up. We're in the sympathetic nervous system constantly. In that striving, seeking, pushing, efforting. Feel how welcoming these slow, steady, internalized movements are. And then from here, slowly come to bring the pillow, and you're going to gently lift up through the pelvic floor. So one way to do this is to roll onto the side and then bring the pillow onto the tummy and the pubic bone. So bring it onto that space of both tummy and pubic bone and then roll back down onto the pillow. Adjust it in one way or another. And then again, come to create that pillow with the backs of the hands and try to flip it now. So whichever hand was on top, bring the opposite hand on top now. Drop the head down and then take your big toes so they kiss each other. So the toes are facing towards each other and the big toes touch. If this isn't possible for you, if you're feeling tension in through the knees, then adjust the legs in any way that feels comfortable. Really, the intention here is to be in comfort. It's best here to use a pillow or an extra folded mat or a blanket under the pelvis and the stomach, not a bolster. That's a bit too high here. And feel these deep, full, big belly breaths. Feel how soothing and calming this can be for the space of the digestive system, the GI tract, for the hips. So our digestion and this whole area of the abdomen does a lot of work each and every day, receiving the fuel, receiving the gift of food, digesting, transmuting, absorbing, moving. So lying in this version of Makarasana, this forward lying asana, is very helpful to relax, to reset, and to really allow the digestion to get a break at the end of the day. Let's find 5 more full breaths here. Let the breath be so deep that you can feel the abdomen ballooning onto the pillow, onto the mat. And every exhale really releasing in through hips, the back of the hips, the lower back. And then with the next exhale, release the hands and bring them under the shoulders and just drop the forehead right down onto the mat. Soften there, soften the shoulders, soften the elbows.
Keep the eyes closed here and bring your feet back to a place of neutrality, pointing out from the hips. And then with the next inhale, press into the hands, but let the head be soft so it still curls in towards the body. Keeping the eyes closed, and start to plant the toes and then begin to come up into a tabletop position. Adjust the knees so they come under the hips, and then start to soften back into child's pose. So start to soften the body back where the buttocks is coming towards the hips. And then from here, if you need to gently open the eyes, you can do so. And come to find your bolster, or again to use the pillow that's at your knees now. And you're going to widen out through the knees, and either using that pillow or using the bolster will come into this supported version of balasana, of the child's pose. Widen the knees out so you can wrap against the bolster. And if you need to use a pillow between the buttocks and the heels or under the ankles, you can always do so, or a folded mat. You really want to find comfort here. Something else that can also be done is you can do bolster and pillow, so putting the pillow at the top of the bolster. From here, take a full inhale, feel the body long, and then with the exhale, start to fold down towards the bolster and drop the right temple down onto pillow, bolster, whatever you're using here. Relax the arms down to the sides in this curved position. Don't extend or create any over-efforting. And then adjust in one way or another. So the shoulders are relaxed, so the hips are relaxed. So the head is in an aligned place where you feel comfortable and quiet. Let the body find its own quiet, relaxed point. Restful, residing. This is such a beautiful asana to access the effortlessness like a child of enjoying rest, sleep. And again, feeling ourselves breathing into that left nostril as we do these asymmetrical asanas, one side then the other, really bringing balance. So let yourself stay here in the feeling of softening, surrendering, being held. Deep, long, full breaths. And then take one more inhalation here. With the exhale, keeping the eyes closed, gently just move the head. So lifting up through head and coming towards the other temple, so towards the left temple now. Soften the head down, and again, find your comfort. Place there, relax shoulders, relax the jaw, even the lips might part slightly. Allowing for a complete letting go. Let be. This sukham, this great ease, comfort. Really allowing during this winding down sadhana, allowing any of the holdings on of the day to melt away. We can sleep so much more soundly when we've emptied out, when we've come to this very moment. So feel the fullness of the breath. Notice the breath now entering through the right nostril. And feel the gift of relaxing, softening, surrendering. 3 more full breaths here. And then with the next inhale, feel the hands upon the mat, slightly press up, and just drop towards the forehead for a couple breaths. Relax in the center line here. And then very slowly, again, walk yourself up, but keep the chin dropped. This gesturing is so important to move in slowed steadiness. And for some of us, this may be even a challenge. Come all the way up to seated. Rest there for a moment or two. And you can push the bolster slightly forward in front of you. And then draw the knees towards each other. And we're going to cross the ankles and then draw back and towards a seated position. Just rest here in Sukhasana. Sukhasana, the easy pose or the comfortable pose. Keep the hands on the knees, reside. Feel how everything is getting quieter. And let's continue to use our pillow or our bolster while we sit here in Sukhasana. So take note of which foot is in front and just really bring the foot, each foot under the knee. And then take your bolster or your pillow and bring it in alignment so it's in one line with the left leg. So one long line on a diagonal here. From here, we're going to take an inhale, sit up nice and tall, and point directly towards the bolster. And then when an exhale, start to draw towards the bolster and drop the head down. So coming onto the left temple. If this feels too low for you, you should feel this length up through the right side. Then you can always turn the bolster onto its side or even higher. So you can come all the way up and you can hug it in and drop the head here, hugging around the bolster and letting the head relax. We're getting this slight length in through the diagonal of the body, through the side body. So onto that left temple, relaxing here just for 5 breaths. Releasing the hips, opening up through the rib cage and the breath. This is welcoming the lungs to breathe deeply before sleep. Exhaling here. And then with the inhale, again, we're practiced at this now. Plant the hands and slowly begin to roll up. Head coming up last, ever so gently coming up. And then take the body, the torso back towards the center line. Feel yourself there for a moment or two. And then we're going to switch the legs. So come to switch the legs, whichever leg is in front, bring it to the back. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Getting those on Instagram back with us so they can be joining us as well. So we've switched, so the other leg is in front now, and the same thing. So you're mirroring now. Take the bolster, the pillow, the blanket. So one diagonal line Now with that right leg, from here, inhale and take the body so it's facing towards the bolster. And with an exhale, start to fold towards the bolster and come onto the right temple now. So we're not creating too much of a twist here. Soften down onto that right temple. Feel that opening that happens all the way down into the left hip, the left sit bone, all of the glute muscles here, especially if we've been seated a lot throughout the day. This is helping to relax this whole space. Feel up through the rib cage and the lung, and find deep and full breaths here. Soften. And again, if need be, you can always turn your bolster or your pillow, whatever you're using, even a cushion from your couch can be helpful, onto its side, or you can bring it right up into length. Wrap the arms around it and drop the head onto it. Finding 3 more full breaths here. And then with the next inhale, plant the hands a little more under the shoulders and let the head rise up last. So let it dangle from the neck and slowly walk body up towards a lengthened seated position and bring the torso towards the center point. Bring the hands back onto the knees and sit up nice and tall. Rest there. Notice how we're welcoming every part of the body to be slightly wrung out and relaxed after the day. And then let's come into a little bit of pranayama before our sort of final position and relaxation. So if you want to use your bolster or your pillow to sit on, I'm going to welcome you to come into pranayama in Vajrasana or Baddha Konasana, which means we're going to take the soles of the feet towards each other and the knees out to the sides. And again, using a pillow can be helpful here, or even for some of you, scooching right up onto that bolster. So coming a little bit higher is absolutely fine if that's more easeful for you. So find what's going to allow you to be comfortable. Again, not straining. We don't want to create more stress at this time of the day. So even in the way in which we move in the yoga practice should be very gentle, calming, relaxed. And then from here, you can relax the hands if you're in this high position onto the knees, or if you're lower, you can wrap them around the feet. And then close the eyes, and for a winding down, a beautiful pranayama, our breathing practice or our breathing pattern for this morning will be Samavriti pranayama. Samavriti, meaning even movement. So the way we inhale, hold the breath, exhale and hold the breath will all be the same amount of time. And we're going to use the number 4. 4 corresponds to the root chakra, to Muladhara chakra, this very grounding force. So breathing in this patterned way will also really help to ground us, to bring this awareness to the root, and as well as sitting in Vajrasana, which is a very powerful asana for rooting and grounding. So it's an excellent way to conclude out this winding down or this evening tide practice. So take a couple full breaths, feel the fullness of your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And if for anyone you need to switch into a more comfortable seated position, you can always do so. And then we'll begin just with 4 rounds of Samavriti. So begin to inhale on my count of 1, 2,
3, 4, and then hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale from mouth. 2, 3, 4, and hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And continue. 2 more rounds. And then relax here. Feel just this very short yet profound pranayama. You can do this for longer, but we don't want to do any stimulating pranayamas in the evening. So no Bhastrika, bellows breath, or Kapalabhati. None of these ones that are really agitating or stimulating, I should say. Instead, this calming of Samavriti, it brings evenness. Feel how everything is feeling more grounded, stabilized, foundational. The nervous system at peace, the mind at peace, the heart at peace. The spine, all the major joints in the body at peace. And then we're going to come into our final relaxation, which you can choose either to come into your regular Shavasana, or what I would suggest for many of us before sleep is to come into legs up the wall, or Viparita Karani. If you don't have a wall nearby, another option is, as I have, to use a chair or a couch. You're going to bring your bolster, your pillow close by, so nearby, beside your couch or beside your chair. And then from here, you're going to come to sit on it sideways. And I would grab your blanket now. You can also use an eye pillow as well. So prepare those close by where you can grab onto them, and even a second pillow. I'm going to show you why. Then you're going to come to sit up onto the pillow, not quite halfway through. So more like 1/3 through. The hip is beside the wall or it's beside the couch. Of course, if this doesn't suit you this morning, can you just come down into Shavasana? From here, bring your hand or your arm onto the wall or onto the couch or the chair, and take your left hand, or whichever is the outside hand, take it onto the floor, and then we slowly begin to swing the body. So you're moving very slowly here, either feet coming up onto the wall or making their way onto the chair as we use the hands at the back body to position ourselves. So legs are here, positioning ourselves very slowly. The bolster or the pillow should be gently at the area of the sacrum, that flat bone. So not way down to the lower part of the buttocks or really high up behind the rib cage, but instead feel the flat of the back softening there. And then relax the legs either up onto the wall here, or folded over the chair or the couch. And then you can choose here. If you want to use a pillow under the head, make sure the pillow is not too big, relaxing it into the nape of the neck, softening at the shoulders. This feels comfortable for you. Or if you want to use something thinner,
You can also use your blanket here, just folded once or twice under the head. So seeing what feels perfect for you here. And then from here, I would even invite you to bring the blanket onto the body. So even the upper body, if it's difficult to get it to the lower body, to really allow there to be two things. One is very helpful in the finality of our winding down practice, which is weight. At any point, putting an extra weight, so putting an extra pillow or an extra bolster onto the area of the tummy, the heart, can be very grounding for the body before sleep. And also, of course, the warmth. And then we can take our eye pillow or an extra scarf and let it come over the eyes. I should say at this point that I do not sell any of these props. So I'm not suggesting these because I have some kind of vested interest in them, but instead these can be really helpful. So in each one of your countries, find a place where you might be able to order these online. These can be wonderful for your winding down. And then choose with your arms, either your hands out to the sides, your arms out to the sides with the hands up towards the ceiling, or even bringing the arms into an L shape can be helpful for some of us, depending upon what's going on in the shoulders. So notice for you what feels perfect. And then relax the legs. So whether they're up on the wall or they're on the chair, relaxing the knees so you're not active, letting there be some passivity in the posture, a surrendered presence. And then bring a sweeping awareness of relaxation from the tips of the toes. Consciously relaxing from the very tips all the way through the feet to the ankles, the calves and the shins, right up to the knees and the thighs. Relaxing into the hips. Feeling this relaxation as it flushes down into the pelvic floor, into the buttocks and the sacrum, the lumbar area. This relaxation making its way into the abdomen, all the abdominal organs, relaxed. Relaxing all along the torso, so up into the upper stomach. This flush of relaxation all along spine, mid-back, up into the rib cage, both at front and back body. A relaxation into the lungs. Feel the lungs naturally receive life, expanding and releasing. Relaxation entering up into the space of the shoulder blades and the back of the heart. And then expanding into this whole band around the chest and the space of the heart, relaxed at peace. Relaxation entering into the shoulders and flushing all the way down through the arms. Relaxing, calming, releasing. This relaxation naturally coming into the forearms and the wrists, down into all the fingers and the fingertips. All is at peace. This relaxation continuing to make its way up through throat and neck, all the spine, all the way up through the cervical spine at the back of the neck, Relaxation floating, flushing into the entirety of the head and the face. Relaxing the chin and the lips, the tongue. Relaxing the jaw and the cheeks. Relaxation into the nose and up into the eyes, the eyebrows, the space between them. Relaxing, letting go into the forehead and the temples, the ears. Relaxation into the entirety of the scalp. All of the follicles of the hair relaxed. A relaxation of the head and the skull back into the pillow, the mat. The entire embodiment at peace. Relaxed in the natural state of surrendered contentment. Effortless, calm, at ease. A feeling of great safety in life now. All is as it is, all in its perfect alignment. A great trust in life's hand, in grace. And in this great relaxation, a feeling that there is no confinement of a physical outline, an interconnection with the space around, with all of life. A sense of true intimacy with all beings. And allowing another few breaths to be felt in their depth. And then moving with very slowed, steady presence, start to flutter in through fingers, even gentle fluttering through the eyelids, a slight shift of the head from side to side. Fluttering in through legs, whether they're on a chair or if they're up on the wall, just gentle movements of the toes, of the knees. And then plant the feet, whether that's on the chair or on the wall. And slowly, very gently, begin to raise the right arm up towards the side of the body, towards the side of the head. And then with the next exhale, slowly roll towards the right side, ever so gently, letting yourself roll off the bolster, coming back to that fetal position, removing blankets, eye pillow. Rest there for a moment or two. And then very slowly begin to walk yourself up and find your way to any comfortable seated position on your mat. Let's rest there for a moment or two, noticing. Noticing the clear energetics of this morning's sadhana to wind down this apana vayu, this downward flow of the energy, a great rooted groundedness, a feeling that the whole body is relaxed and at peace, in harmony. And a preparedness, whether this is for sleep or even in our day, to move in great restfulness. Let's conclude together with our Mahamrityunjaya mantra prayer. I welcome you to bring the hands towards the heart, and you can repeat after me this beautiful mantra of fearlessness. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Settling into the gift of this mantra, really the Mahamrityunjaya, a liberation, a great liberation from the fear of impermanence, of change, and thus in that way a real freedom to live into our fullness moment to moment, to live free, unencumbered, untethered, wide open in spontaneity and ease and with the grace of life's hand, to feel secure even in changing tides. And we conclude, as always, with a prayer, a blessing, and asking that all beings truly on this planet at this time receive peace, that all beings have some glimpses, some contact with joy, and that our entire human family be free, free from suffering. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, as always, for joining in the sadhana this morning, and I hope this will contribute for each of you, and you can come back to this sadhana really as a powerful session, a powerful practice that can be used for restful days, but also for deep sleep in our evenings. Please share this with others around you who this may benefit, whether you share it on Facebook or you connect other beings to the YouTube where they can benefit from this. I truly hope that this will allow each one of us to have deep and restful days and nights. Okay, blessings to each of you, love wherever you are, and we'll meet either again this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for meditation, or I'll see you again for Vichara Yoga on Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, namaste, everyone.